Alright guys, TrueCombo here, and welcome to a bit of a different video today. We're not going to be talking about a certain event and going over picks and predictions today. We're actually going to be going over 5 future UFC stars. These are UFC fighters that I think have the potential at becoming a star, or at least just really well known, maybe touching some of the mainstream. And I really do think the UFC is, right now at least, is lacking kind of that star. You know, they got the potential of turning Patty into that star, but it hasn't really been going well for them. But there hasn't been that person like a Connor, and I don't think there will ever be a person like Connor. But you guys get what I'm saying. There's not really anybody that's breaking through the mainstream. Like I mentioned, there's Patty, but he broke out through the mainstream kind of like, I want to say 3-4 years ago. We haven't really gotten anyone like that since. So I'm going to be going over 5 fighters that have the potential to do that, and let's get started. So the first fighter, I think it's going to be Charles Jourdain. This guy, I mean, he's been in the UFC for a while. He fought at featherweight, but he's funny as hell. And he's currently at bantamweight. He just moved down not too long ago, and he's been looking pretty good. He beat a couple of pretty good names in terms of kind of divisional boogeyman dark horses in the 135-pound division, with Victor Henry and Davy Grant. He submitted them both, and that win against Davy Grant is really impressive to me, because I feel like that's like kind of the door you need to knock on and open to kind of get your way through the 135-pound division. It's a very, in my opinion, it's one of the most stacked divisions in the UFC. So I think Charles Jourdain has a pretty good chance at being a pretty good contender. I don't know about champion, but a pretty good contender at 135. But man, his Instagram is absolutely hilarious. He is funny as hell, man. He also has a brother, Louis Jourdain, which he was on the Contender series, I believe, just last year, and he looks pretty good. He got a submission, but I don't know too much about his brother to make me think he's gonna be a star. I mean, he hasn't even made his debut yet. I was originally thinking about putting his brother, but I'm like, no. His brother, he just moved down to 135. He's funny. I've seen more of him. I do think that in the future, maybe later on towards this year, he's gonna be a name that people are gonna be rooting for a lot more at 135. So Charles Jourdain is my number 5. So next, I believe I got 2 people for one. So sorry, it's not technically 5 people, but sorry, these guys are basically they're almost the same. I think it'd be weird. They're not only in both the same division, they're also both from Liverpool. And you know how the UFC just tries to push these people from Liverpool just down our throats. However, I do like these guys, and they're both kind of the same, man. They're super scrappy and fun to watch, especially Luke Riley. Him in particular, he always has that comeback factor. In his debut, he was getting wrestled against the cage. You know, he looked like he was struggling with the grappling, but when it got to that second round, it didn't matter anymore, man. All he needs is really that one shot, and you know he could put out anybody, no matter how bad he's being controlled in the fight. Curtis, man, I watched his Contenders series fight live, and he did pretty well, man. I didn't expect him to get the finish like that, but he got it pretty fast. He's like one of those funny looking nerdy guys that he is a killer, even though I do think he's kind of big, or not big, but I think he's actually kind of small for the featherweight division. I think if he was in bantamweight, he'd have a better chance. I don't know if he's moving down or not, but I definitely do think, just because they're from Liverpool and the UFC's tendency to push them down our throat. I mean, Luke Riley, his second fight, he's literally a co-main event in the upcoming London card. So you know they're trying to push these guys. And I think Curtis is fighting on the same card, because I think the card is on March 21st. So you know that these guys are ones to look out for. These are 2 potential stars, but I thought I'd include them both in the same kind of number. They're both from Liverpool, both in the same division. Kind of the same reason why I'm including them both. So I included them both. Sorry. So next fighter on the card. This fighter isn't necessarily a new name or whatever, but I really don't think anybody talks about him a lot in terms of just always making bangers. kind of goes, it kind of feels underappreciated a bit. So next fighter I got is Chris the Problem Duncan, man. This guy, another another sorcerer, a scorcerer. I freaking misspelled that. Best speller on YouTube. He is guaranteed cinema if you tune in, guys. I mean, anytime I've seen this guy fight, I've seen this guy fight since the Contender Series back in 2022, and this guy just puts on cinematic performances, man. You're gonna get a scrap no matter what. That Terrence Kinney, that one round, the Terrence Kinney fight was insane, man. That was just straight out of a Dragon Ball Z fight. This guy, you know, this is one of those guys in lightweight, like in my opinion, like a Benoit Saint Denis, except for the fact, like Benoit Saint Denis is like popular because he has aura and like he's a former special forces agent, so you know he's like a badass. Like, you know, he doesn't like have to speak English to know that he's a badass. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's gonna be like, oh, we don't like Benoit Saint Denis. Like, no, everyone likes him just because he's a former military and he has freaking aura, man. But with Chris Duncan, man, he's kind of like a Benoit Saint Denis. Like, no matter who you put in front of a Benoit Saint Denis, you know they're gonna put on a freaking clinic. But this is Benoit Saint Denis with actual good mic skills, or at least, he's a very good person, and he's a very fun to listen to. And when you have someone that's fun to listen to, easygoing, and puts on cinema, I mean, how can you not make this guy a star, man? And especially with the way that UFC likes to push these European kind of scouser, any accent that sounds like a McGregor accent, they're gonna try to push you. So make fun fights, have a funny accent, be a good person, and I think you could honestly really be a star with the fans potentially, man. So I think Chris the Problem Duncan should really has the potential of becoming a future UFC star if they do him right and put him more in high profile spots. Like, put him in a main card spot, you know. I really want to see him in a main card this upcoming year, so that'd be great to see. So Chris the Problem Duncan is my number 3. Let's move on. Miktek Orobai, man. I know a lot of people, y'all, like us hardcore UFC fight fans, we know about this guy. However, I put him in this list because he recently moved up to welterweight and killed Jack Hermanson. Oh my god, that was scary. But I really do think that his welterweight run is gonna be crazy. He's just very memeable. We all love his like Mongolian aura, and honestly, knowing that Shavkat is gonna be gone for a while now because he got another surgery, he's gonna kind of replace that Shavkat aura. You know that meme of Shavkat sitting in the freaking chair. And I think Orobai really has the potential of replacing that hole in our hearts of Shavkat not being here, man. I really feel like he could come in, give us his lovable Mongolian face, and just kill somebody in front of us, and we're gonna love him no matter what. This guy's gonna put on amazing performances and then just stare at us like nothing happened, and we love him for it. And I really do think that Orobai, especially in his new resurgence at welterweight, he's gonna look really good, and we're gonna know more about him. Like I said with Chris Duncan before this, add him to more high profile spots. I want to see this guy open up a main card with somebody, put this guy against anybody in the welterweight division, and win or lose, it's gonna be a banger. And if he wins, you're gonna get a clip, or you're gonna get a bunch of memes of him with his Mongolian face being just being like, yo, I just slimed out my friend and I looked at him like this, and it's just his face, bro. So he's definitely in the running to be a future UFC star in that kind of ironic sort of way that we'd use Shavkat for, because we just love how, I don't know, stoic Shavkat is. So definitely he has the potential to replace that hole in our hearts for that. So I have Miktek Orobai at my number 2 spot. I still have trouble pronouncing his name, sorry guys. All right, so my number 1, this might be an obvious number 1, but really hear me out, guys. I really am gonna just be honest about this one. Josh Hokid, look, his trash talk, sometimes he can kind of drag it a bit, and I'm not denying that, but let's just look at this from the way the heavyweight division looks. It does not look good right now, especially, I mean, seeing that Taliesin Teixeira fight and Tai Tuivasa, like those are like top 10 heavyweights right now. So I think this guy can kill both of them. I actually think he's very athletic for the heavyweight division. He could prove to be a problem because he actually has skills at, you know, and has athleticism for being a heavyweight in this division. And if you have at least an edge on your opponent in this division of those two things, you can pretty much be a high ranking heavyweight in the UFC if you can do those things. But look, his trash talk could be cringy. He could kind of drag it at times, but it works for engagement, and he can actually promote the fight. And look, there's some things that he said that's, I'm not gonna lie, I find it funny. I mean, dude, the crap he says about Michael Chandler, it's crazy, but it's just like, oh my god, it's one of those things that catches you off guard. That is like, whoa, oh my god, what is he talking about? It's kind of like a Colby Covington, but you know, we'll see. We'll see if he makes the lovable like blunders that Colby makes, like the 7th layer of hair and stuff like that. You know, I don't know. He feels like that he's aware that he's kind of cringy, but he's just going with it. But we'll just see. He just needs to walk the walk, all right? And he looks like he can walk the walk because the division he's in is incredibly I want to say kind of stale and shallow, you know. But I don't think I can see him beating like a Tom Aspinall, but I could see him definitely getting high in the heavyweight division rankings. And if he does, he's gonna always promote the fight, no matter how boring the other side is. He's always gonna try and promote the fight, so you can never deny that. So that's why I think he is gonna be a future UFC star. And that is my list for the future UFC stars, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you guys think is gonna be the next big UFC star. It doesn't have to be anyone from this list. It could be anybody. I don't care. Just let me know in the comments below. But other than that, guys, you'll have my official predictions for this Fight Night card coming this Friday. But besides that, guys, have a blessed day. Peace.